Wondering if pet insurance is worth it? Some people would say yes, and some people would say no. So what do you do? In this video, I'm going to break down both sides so you can make your own conclusion, so stay tuned. For the best dog training and product advice, be sure to hit subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Wednesday. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa. I've sat and trained hundreds and hundreds of dogs and puppies, and I love sharing my advice with all of you. No matter what side you're on when it comes to pet insurance, whether you're pro pet insurance or against pet insurance, there is one thing we can all agree on, which is that vet bills are pretty freaking expensive. That's why I think there are two options to consider when being a responsible pet owner. Number one is to have a pet health savings account where you put money away every month just in case your pet gets sick. So I have a recent example. My dog Waffles recently cracked her tooth and had to get that tooth extracted, which was $600, an expense that I wasn't expecting. Luckily for me, I had some money saved up to cover that expense. A lot of times we can't expect when things happen to our pets, so it's good to have an extra cushion so you're not completely broke when these things come up. Number two is to have pet insurance. Now keep in mind, you're still going to have to cover some of these costs up front. For example, I personally have pet insurance, but when Waffles cracked her tooth, I had to pay that up front. I filed a claim, and then I only got a little bit of money back. I think I got like $150 back. Which brings me to the point of why people are against pet insurance. If I would have been saving the $40 a month that I've been spending on Waffles pet insurance every month for the last 3 years, I would definitely have $600. So in that case, I've actually lost money versus benefited from pet insurance. Now, let me talk about why I still have pet insurance anyway, even though, well, I'm not really that good at math, but I do have a calculator and I can figure out that I've spent much more on pet insurance than I've gotten back. So the very nature of just insurance in general is to protect yourself against a huge financial risk. And in this case, it is, the risk of having a really high vet bill. Pet insurance is there to protect you against really big vet bills, like if your dog has to get chemo treatments or if your puppy gets parvo, that can cost $30,000. So that is where pet insurance comes in handy, which is why I am pro pet insurance, because I think that, if my dog had a really expensive vet bill, I wouldn't want to have to let him go because I wouldn't be able to afford that $30,000 expense. I would want to be able to have that covered. Now, there's plenty of people who are still against pet insurance, like financial guru Dave Ramsey. I actually love most of his stuff, but I do not agree with him on the pet insurance aspect. In one of his blogs, he talks about how he loves his dog, but he doesn't think pet insurance is worth it because most of the time when people spend a lot of money on their dogs, they're keeping them alive for inhumane reasons. And I do agree with him there. You shouldn't keep your dog alive if they're suffering greatly just for your own benefit. But he also goes on to say, it's also just a dog, which I personally don't agree with. I think that you should treat your dog like your child, basically. Like you took this dog in, they rely on you 100% for all of their resources. You are their guardian, you are their caretaker, and in my opinion, you should do whatever it takes to take the best care of your dog. Now, that being said, I still love Dave Ramsey, don't get me wrong. I still follow him. I think he gives great advice, but for this specific piece of advice, I just don't agree. All right, so in conclusion, I think that the majority of people should get pet insurance. If you have millions in the bank and you're doing really well, I probably don't think it's worth it because it is unlikely that you're gonna have such a large vet bill. But I'll leave that choice up to you, knowing what you know now. So I'd love to hear, do you plan to get pet insurance? Do you have pet insurance? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to start a little conversation about it. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. Leave a comment below with the word helpful and share with all of your dog-loving friends. All right, and if you're looking to save on big vet bills, it's important to keep your dog safe. And one way to keep your dog safe is to make sure that they have a rock-solid recall so they can come back to you when you ask them to come. For example, if you see your dog about to chase a squirrel across the street, you want them to be able to come when called so that they don't get hit by a car. Same thing, you want them to, or same thing with loose leash walking. You don't want them pulling ahead, zigzagging, possibly running onto the street, even on leash, which I personally know people whose dogs have been hit while being on leash just because they ran into the street. So a big thing with that is having a really solid loose leash walk and a really solid recall, which I address both of those in my Ultimate Good Dog Blueprint, and you can download that below. It is completely free to download. I also have a Possum Parents Facebook group, and it's free to join, and I answer all of your puppy and dog questions in there as well. All right, that's it for today, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.